Today's video has been brought to you by Chic Clothing. Go to www.chicclothing.com for our line of hand-designed signature caps and more information on how you can have your caps color customized to your liking. Plan your adventure. Subscribe to our mailing list to be informed about upcoming expansion to our line of clothing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm a Fury here, and I just got home from watching Justice League. I'm not a critic that I can go to screenings and advanced screenings and stuff, so here this is. What can I say about Justice League? It wasn't a complete disaster. It wasn't that bad at all. But I do have problems with the movie. I mean, I went into this listening to how terrible the CGI, the plot was, this, that, and the fourth. But while I was watching the movie, I was actually into the characters and how they were with each other. Like, the actors were pretty good. I didn't find Barry Allen as annoying as people said that he was gonna be. I think it's just the fact that a lot of people are accustomed to what they see with Wally West on the animated series, and definitely what they see with Grant Gustin on the CW Flash series, that they don't see that here with Ezra Miller's Barry Allen. And a lot of people was like, I don't understand, I didn't get the Flash, why? You know, you saw the moment, like, you see what was going on with his father. His father is in jail for a murder he did not commit of his wife, Barry's mom. And nobody believed Barry when he was 9 years old. They actually stated that inside the, Alfred actually mentioned that to Bruce when they was talking about Barry Allen before they recruited him. So a lot of people was like, why was he so jokey? This is going on and stuff like that. And I'm like, Look at Tony Stark, for example. Tony Stark is always snarky and everything, but Tony Stark got a lot of shit. Like his parents' death, and other things that, you know, he got issues. Tony Stark got issues, and in the movie version, he uses snarky behavior and the womanizing to shield all of that. So Barry, the jokes and everything was just Barry trying to just basically not show everybody he's tormented all the time. I could see that. I don't know if anybody else did, but like I said, Flash didn't annoy me. I actually liked Ezra Miller in this movie, and he looked like somebody who actually is still learning how to use his powers. He understands the Speed Force and everything, but I could say this, like, the running was, the way he ran was funny. I don't know if it was him not too sure of how to take steps because he's still getting accustomed to the Speed Force in his movie version, or that was just him being silly. I don't know, but I didn't find him annoying. He was actually alright to me. Aquaman, cool. I like Jason Momoa, the whole thing. He was like the bro of the group, just as real as they come, and just kind of laid back but ready to kick ass when he needs to. Wonder Woman is, you know, she's stoic, yet she's warm and friendly at the same time, and she's kind and she's commanding. She you know, her presence actually is commanding. So Gal Gadot, she played that well. You know, I'm glad she was in the movie. Wonder Woman was really, and it didn't feel like, oh my god, we gotta reshoot this to make Wonder Woman more prominent. Wonder Woman was going to be prominent. It's just the way the character works with her. And then we got Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and you know, we may have seen Teen Titans, we may have seen the other things, and he was usually the, you know, the guy that's, you know, that's kind of the upbeat, the younger member of the group. In this version here, he is young, but he's serious because this accident and stuff happened fairly not small. He's coming to terms he's coming to terms with, he's still coming to terms with what he is now. And you can see in the movie he hasn't been cyborg for a long time, because he's still learning how to process the computer in his brain and other things. Amongst that, you can see that so it's a serious way that people thinks he's dead, that he doesn't recognize himself in the mirror no more. He lost, they didn't say it in the movie, and this is probably one of my big issues, how much they cut, because they cut significant things. I'm gonna get to that in a moment, what they cut. I'm gonna get to that in a moment, what they, what I feel they cut. I don't know what they cut, but I could tell you, you can clearly tell it's missing. And then we get to Bruce Wayne, Batman. There wasn't much room for Bruce Wayne to interact with other people beyond people who already knew who he was. So if you've seen Bruce Wayne being more Batmanish outside the suit, that's because the Justice League knows he's Batman. Was he gonna act different? Like, everybody knows that Bruce Wayne is pretty much a facade of how he truly is. Batman is more like who he really is. So around them, he can be that type of person. So I didn't find that bad at all, And I like the fact that he's older. He fought his first parademon at the beginning of the movie, which had the. And if you've seen Gotham, one thing I did like about this, because the visuals were hit and miss, and they missed a lot more to hit, but they really nailed it with Gotham City. It looked like 1989 Batman, kind of, in a sense. It kind of had the Arkham City game / the 89 Batman movie, the Tim Burton style, and then the Danny Elfman score. The 1989 score was prominent. PD, do not start. Get over here. Come here. Oh boy, so I gotta call him over and stuff. Calm down. So the Danny Elfman score came on, and Batman is doing Batman stuff. You see a guy just, steal stuff. He just robbed the place, and it's played by Holt McCallany. I don't know if you know who Holt McCallany is, but Holt McCallany, you've seen him in a lot of TV. You've seen him in supporting roles in a lot of movies as well. But anyway, he plays a henchman. Batman catches up to him, and while Batman is hanging him to interrogate him, I guess, a parademon pops up out of nowhere. Batman, fights him, and Batman looks mortal, because Batman ain't like, oh my god, he's the ultimate bad guy. He, no matter how strong and no matter how he does it, these are aliens. And you've seen that. That's the thing I liked about Batman in this movie, that he showed his mortality, his age. And even there was a point where Wonder Woman even said, you can't go on like this forever, and stuff like that. Like, his age is a factor. They factor that in to make Batman human, which is good and stuff. And then we get to Superman. I was kind of expecting when they brought him back, and they was like, it might be side effects. That was so predictable. You knew it was going to be side effects. So as for him showing, that, oh my god, how can we stop Superman? I thought Batman was going to come to Kryptonite, but Batman came in the most peaceful manner ever. He came diplomatically, because he knew he was trying not to start a conflict with Superman, even though Superman assaulted him anyway. But hitting him with the Kryptonite probably wouldn't have done much or something, or trying to be in that armor again, because his memories was coming back. But my thing about it, let's get right into the bad, and it starts with Superman. It's not bad negative, like, oh my god, he was the worst. No, it was actually so, I felt, and people are gonna get mad at me for this, it felt so forced that Superman had a newfound sense of humor. It was forced. It wasn't unwelcomed. No, I felt it was good. It's a step in the right direction, but it was forced. There, I said it. It was forced. it was very forced because they figured out somewhere in Zack Snyder's main cut that emo Superman, emo asshole Superman wasn't going to be it doesn't work. So a lot of reshoots had to be done. My dogs are fighting. If you hear them, that's them play fighting with each other. So don't mind me. So I guess they had to change that. And speaking of changes, good God Almighty, man. The opening scene was like kids recording and talking to Superman on the phone. And his they CGI'd his mustache out. And you can look at it, even though it was supposed to be on grainy video. I think that's why they shot the thing like they put it like as a grainy cell phone footage shot, because they was trying to hide the fact that the CGI was terrible with his mustache. And there was other scenes where you could clearly see that because of reshoots they had to CGI out his mustache. For those who don't know, Henry Cavill is filming Mission Impossible 6, and his character has a mustache and scruff, which is part of the character. These reshoots came out of nowhere that needed to be done, but he could not get out of it. He had to keep the mustache for his obligations of filming Mission Impossible 6. So they had to CGI out his mustache and spend millions more probably in special production. I mean, I don't know, not just on the mustache, just overall the reshoots cost. But you can see how fake it was at times. And it's a patch job, but if you just sit back and if you heard all of the negativity I heard going into this while watching the movie, it's like a part of your mind that just probably know the negative there already, so you can just sit there and actually enjoy the movie for what it was. And I did that, you know. Only in this review I could pick out the stuff. Now that I think about it, no, it's like I actually like the film despite its flaws. But another flaw was Aquaman scene. You know, when he went down there to fight Steppenwolf down in Atlantis before Steppenwolf took the mother box, one thing that struck me weird was, you know, his mother, he felt abandoned by his mother. And he's talking to Mera as if he never been to Atlantis, when he clearly did, because he knew of the trident, he knew of the armor and stuff. Like, they didn't explain that. It's just one thing that I need some things. If I'm gonna fight this war that my mother and those before her was fighting with Steppenwolf, I'm going to need some things. Like, he knew of these things, but he still has so much disdain and resentment for his mother abandoning him on his father's doorstep. And I'm like, just because you glance by that fast doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to that. So I didn't like that either. And another thing too was, when it comes, now that we talking about the bad stuff, they just all of a sudden just figured, oh wow, we can bring Superman back using the place that they created Zod from, but with the mother box. And I'm like, that made no sense to me. Like, that came out of the blue, which is another indication that more than likely that might have been cut out the film too. And on to the special effects. This was a Zack Snyder's film. From the fight scene on Mars at the end, and I call it that because it just was red as all shit. The maul out the colors, and then there's scenes earlier in the movie where they try to enhance the colors, but it just still looked dark, depressing with a colorful suit. And look at Superman's suit. They really put the color up. They really added some bright colors to that, to try to make this like, look, hey, this is Justice League. It's not as depressing. It's not a depressing movie like Dawn of Justice or Man of Steel. Look at the colorful Superman. This is the Superman you always wanted. They almost there. They close. They on the cusp of giving us that. You know? They on the cusp of giving that. And maybe the parts where he, at the end when he went and he changed, took off and stuff, That felt like Superman, and I feel like more than likely that was put in the movie by Joss Whedon. I really felt that that ending when he took off was felt like that was Joss Whedon. And I don't know, special effects was shit, which leads into Steppenwolf. You know, Steppenwolf. I thought the CGI was gonna be terrible, super terrible. I didn't find Steppenwolf that off-putting. What I found off-putting is how by the numbers this film is. This film, didn't you realize that Man of Steel they was using the World Machine to terraform Earth into New Krypton, and then Justice League, they was using 3 mother boxes, MacGuffins as you could call them, to actually fucking terraform Earth into a new apocalypse or some shit like that, more than likely. Wow. Just wash, rinse, and repeat, huh? That I didn't like as well. And yeah, like I said, this was by the numbers. It was very predictable, knowing that the 5 of them, after Superman flew off with Lois and stuff, because Lois, you was thinking, oh shit, he's the same asshole Superman again. All he cared about was Lois. Took off. He took off with Lois, and then he came back all happy. He came back all jokey and whatnot. And I'm like, not jokey to her like the Flash was, but he came back so upbeat. And I thinking, then I'll think about it. And I'm thinking about it now. I don't know if it just was kind of off-putting that it was such a radical change. You know? It was such a radical change. He was not like that in Batman v Superman. Did they finally realize, did it take death? Did it take death to actually make him appreciate the life he had? I don't know. I really don't get it. But the movie, they played it safe. It went just the way you thought it would go. They know they outnumbered. They go into this battle. They start losing. Everything looks bleak. And next thing you know, Superman comes in and wrecks out Steppenwolf, and then they all rally around Superman and they save the day. End of the movie. That's it. Alright? But before I wrap up and tell you what I really grade this movie as, let's talk about the ending. They gave an ultimate fan service through mid-credits. It was the Flash and Superman having a racing contest. And Superman showed a little bit more of that humor that was just thrown, his newfound humor. He was like, hey, Flash, hey, if I win, you're out of the league. And the Flash, he was smiling, and he's like, that's funny. And then he's like, but if I win, I can tell everybody. He's like, that's what Flash said. But it was something else Superman said. Superman said, Bruce said that, you would take us to brunch, which leads back to more flashback humor of Barry Allen talking to Bruce when Bruce came to him about not understanding what the big deal of brunch was. You wait an hour in line in the morning to have lunch. It's like he didn't get it, so I like that Bruce actually said something like that to Superman. That right there, the banter of the character. See, now I'm going back to something positive, because you start to realize like that saved the movie. That saved the movie. Okay, so in the ending, mid-credit scene, when they went to have a race and Superman was flying. I thought Superman was gonna run, and Flash was gonna run, because that's how they did it in the old cartoon. And Superman is very fast on his feet. He don't have to fly to keep up with the Flash. But then the main credit scene was Lex Luthor, and they show him in jail, and security goes, hey Luthor, get your ass out here, don't make me come in there. And then when he went and touched the guy turned around, he was some bald crazy guy. And then next thing you know, you see the back of some dude on a boat with swords coming out his back and the headset, and the headband tied from the patch on his eye. Yes, people. It was Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. He actually broke Lex Luthor out of prison. Lex Luthor living it up on his yacht, and now Lex Luthor talking about Superman and this league, and now he wants to form his own. And that's how the movie ends, throwing it, saying that, hey, there's a Legion of Doom. He's gonna form a Legion of Doom and stuff. So, all in all, I give Justice League, like, at the deep thought and enjoyment factor I give this movie, I would say, what would I say? Because even though I enjoyed it and I really liked it, I give it like a C plus. Definitely a C plus. Like, it did what it needed, what it could do, but you can clearly see what was vital and missing from this film. I don't know if there's any way to say it. Maybe C plus is being too harsh on it. No, I'm just saying the movie is extremely watchable, but there's a lot of things that bogged us down. There's a lot of issues it had with it. Alright? You know, you have to see it for yourself. I don't care how you see it. You can wait for it, you can bootleg it, I don't care. But it's worth a watch. If albeit once to you, I personally still might buy this movie. I actually, fuck that. C minus is being cruel. I give this movie a flat B. A flat B. You'll like it. If you're a fan of Justice League, you'll like it. If you're a fan of DC, you'll like it. If you're a fan of superheroes, you might find some enjoyment in it. You know, there are a few times where Rotten Tomatoes scores don't match to how like the audience, 80% of the audience, 86% audience approval rating, despite its bad reviews. So let's see what it do. You know, but there's only but so many people out there who are dedicated fans. So I don't know. I see this movie doing very well this weekend, and it might drop off the following week pretty steep. Still doing well nonetheless. But like I said, I revised my score. I give it a B, a flat B. I enjoyed it. A lot of issues with it, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. So, all I can say is to you, this review is over. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep watching what you want, keep gaming the way you want, keep being you, because I'm a Fury. I'm out. Sorry if I'm a little out of it, but after sitting there watching that movie, I'm just like want to sleep now, because the weather started, it's rainy weather, and I get like that. So peace out. Thanks for watching.